Good morning, it's Dave, All Things Important Reviews. Please smash that like button, please smash the subscribe button for more awesome watch content. I thought I'd do a little follow-up review on this little gem from Phylida because this is actually my favourite Phylida watch. Let's just do a little wristwatch check. I've got my Pagani Design Sport Chronograph. We all know what this is homaging, the two-tone black and well, the black and rose gold is just absolutely to die for. This is one unbelievably good value watch with a ceramic bezel. It's a quartz, a mecha quartz. This is one of the best watches you can buy on AliExpress in total honesty, and it's got a great rubber band as well. But this Phylida is an all-round brilliant homage watch, and for the price that I paid for it, which was less than 80 GBP, I think it is pretty unbeatable. Now, I've worn it on and off for a year. I also have it in the blue model, but the black, the blue that they've done it in, which I think you've seen already on my channel, the blue is a kind of tealy blue. It's not an ocean blue or an electric blue or a navy blue or a deep blue. It's a tealy greeny blue, which is not my biggest cup of tea, and which is why personally I think actually the black model is superior. Now, one of the reasons why this watch is so good, it is obviously the price is unbeatable, but the build quality is actually really good, and the bracelet in particular is excellent. We all know what this watch homages. It homages the classic James Bond watch, which is, well, the James Bond watch is not typically GMT, but the classic James Bond watch is obviously the Seamaster 300M, and a few years ago Omega did a GMT version. I don't know if they still do a GMT version that is in this style, that is in the Seamaster range. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think they actually do make a very similar watch to this anymore, Omega. But Phylida have homaged it, and they've done a super good job. Ceramic bezel, sapphire crystal, which is ever so slightly domed, 14mm thick, 46.6 lug to lug, 20mm band, no tapering on the bracelet, with about a 20mm clasp as well, slightly bigger. Now, why I love this watch so much, I mean, the red, the silver, the black and red, they work perfectly together. They go together, you know, so well. And you can see on that dial as well. I love them wave notches on the back. That wave pattern just adds an extra depth. I think that the non-GMT versions are not as interesting because they've been homaged so much. I think that why many people would love this watch is because they've got the colouring right on the black model, definitely. The dial pattern is excellent. It's, you know, super eye-catchy. The GMT functionality works great. There's no Cyclops, which is good, in my opinion, on this watch. I wouldn't think it really works with a Cyclops. I think it would be possibly too busy for a small watch. And the other reason why many people are going to like this watch is that it's small. It is small. It's 41mm, but because the lug to lug's so small, and because the supporting case is also so small, it feels more like, I would say, a 39mm watch. I would say this, it does feel small on the wrist. Now, to many people, that is a good thing. To me, I prefer it a bigger watch. I would prefer this in the 40, in a 42. not necessarily making the lug to lug, sorry, not necessarily making the lug to lug so much bigger, maybe a little bit bigger, but the diameter, in my opinion, should be a little bit bigger than 41, because it is a little bit small with the fact that the case is so curvy, which is comfortable, super comfortable. And the 14mm, let me tell you something, the 14mm thickness completely melts away. You can see that the actual supporting case is not that thick. There's a lot of space here. You know, the bezel takes up a lot of it, and the case below. The reason why it melts away, the thickness, is because obviously there's not got a big supporting case, but the other thing is because the bracelet is so good and so comfortable and so close to the older Seamaster 300M Omega models that it feels really, really comfy on the wrist. The screws work really good. I have to tell you something though, be super careful. These screws are absolutely tiny. They are absolutely tiny, and you can super easily lose them. You can buy a replacement though. You can buy replacement bracelets for cheap, I think. Now, I'll just show it in the wrist anyway. Absolutely beautiful. And if you're thinking about buying a real Omega Seamaster 300M from a few generations ago, like a 10-year-old model, something like that, the pre-ceramics, and in fact, they used to do a 41mm ceramic from 2016, I believe, to 2018, something like that. Omega, I mean, it would be great if you've never felt them on the wrist before, to buy one like this, like a homage, and try this on to see how it feels, because they feel so good. They are comfier. This bracelet, in my opinion, is comfier than a Rolex Oyster band or Rolex Oyster bracelet and many 3-links. I think I would class this personally. I would class this as a 9-link, because in reality, that they are. You know, that's like 3 links, 3-link, 1, 2, 3. That's 9. Some people call it a 5-link. I call it a 9-link. It is super comfortable, and the fact it doesn't taper does not mean that it's uncomfortable. Now, on there is some criticisms of this watch, of course there is. One is there is no micro adjust on the bracelet. There is an extension, a massive extension, dive extension, which I'll never use. It's all milled, everything's milled, everything's solid, but there is no micro adjust. Now, you can actually buy an aftermarket quick adjust clasp that is quite a bit thicker and quite a bit bigger. Maybe I will buy one. They're not cheap though. I think they're about 75 quid, 50 to 75 quid on AliExpress, possibly even more with a bracelet. And that has a mechanism inside where you push here and you can notch it out you can get micro adjusts. Now, that would be a better mechanism. Now, alternatively, they could just get rid of this dive extension and they could just put some micro adjust settings on it. In my opinion, that would be better, but they've done it with a no micro adjust. Now, you do get some 1/4 or a 1/3 links like these, and you have to fiddle with it to get the right setting. For me, right this second, the watch is slightly too loose. I like it a little bit tighter than that, a little bit, but it's still not bad. Now, I mean, the movement is the DG 5833. Now, this is a problem with Phylida's specs online. On the back of the watch, right? On the back of the watch, it clearly says there 200 meter, 660 foot. Right? But on the websites, they've put 10 bar. So is it 20 bar or is it 10 bar for the water resist? I don't actually know. I'm going to think it's more like 10 bar. The other thing is it SE-12 or is it SE-11? I've seen it marketed as the SE-12. I've seen it marketed as the SE-11. Again, I don't know. I think it's the SE-12. There is no engraving on the back for the model number or the reference. It doesn't say. But not to worry, this is the thing. And another criticism would be the lack of signed crown and the lack of signed clasp. So if they can get them things sorted out, if they can get the branding sorted out, I mean, I think Phylida needs an emblem and a logo. I think Phylida on its own looks a bit poor. If they can get their own branding sorted out, and they can sort out this clasp by putting some micro adjusts on it, I think it would be the best homage to the Seamaster 300M, especially the GMT, but even just in general on the internet, because the bracelet is so good, so comfortable and so well made, other than the clasp, like we said. Now, if you buy Pagani Designs homage, I believe this is a much comfier and much better model. I think the Pagani Design does have a better clasp because they put micro adjusts on it, but the bracelet on the Pagani Design is too thick. It's too thick and it's not as comfortable, anywhere near as comfortable, in my opinion. And the way they've done the 42mm on that watch, it's a lot bigger than this one. It's a lot bigger. The lug to lug's bigger and the size is a lot bigger. I think a lot of people are going to prefer this. I think this is probably the better one to get, definitely. But if you don't like bracelets and you'd swap both out to like if you're going to swap both out to a rubber band or a NATO, then the Pagani, the problem with the Pagani is they don't have that third colour that I think it needs. I think a black and silver watch needs a third colour, or it looks a bit sterile and looks a bit boring, plain. But this is one of the best homages for the price you can get on the internet. It is, for this, for the watch it's homage from. It is a great, great, great effort, and I love the dial. I love looking at those wave patterns. It's just really good. Now, Omega, if you've ever seen, because I've tried one on and I've seen one. If you've ever, I've actually tried on, not the GMT, but my friend has the ceramic 41mm blue one. Now, the blue on it is good, but it's not as gorgeous as the latest 42mm Omega Seamasters have a ceramic bezel and have this beautiful blue wave dial. The blue on that is one of the nicest blues I've ever seen in a watch. It is absolutely to die for. And if I ever was going to buy a luxury watch, it would be that watch, I think. If I was going to spend like serious money, like $3 to $5 grand on a watch, it would be that watch. But we'll see. But for the time being, this Phylida does a great, great job of giving you that feel. I just wish it was a slightly bit bigger and they sorted out the branding and the clasp, and it would be a winner chicken dinner. I just thought I'd do a follow-up review on that because it's been probably a year or so now since I've had this watch, and it's been an absolute cracker. Okay, have a great Easter. It's been Dave. Cheers.